Hello everyone and welcome to my new video from the office. How ironic is that? And no, I'm not crazy. I know that the title of the video is different, but I thought we all work in different countries at different companies, which means we all have different working conditions. And for those of you who are curious about what working remotely, or to be precise working from home in Germany looks like, whether it's as cool as you imagine it to be, if it's worth it, if it actually affected the salaries, productivity and the mood in general, and of course whether it has actually become easier to find remote jobs. And for those of you who want to know answers to these questions, just stick around. At the moment the office is pretty much empty. Everybody is encouraged to work from home. Well, some people like it, some people hate it, some actually prefer a balance, like working 2 or 3 days from the office and the rest from home, because we have a great ping pong table, a great Italian coffee machine and a gym in the office, so who wouldn't want to come to such an office? But obviously everybody has different ideals, different needs when it comes to perfect working conditions, which we're gonna talk about very soon. But I would say enough chit chat for now. Let's jump into the main part of the video and teleport to a different room. So for those who are new to the channel, I'm Gus. At least you can call me so to make our life easier, and I'm a front-end developer working in Berlin for an edtech company called Plista. I'll tell you more about the company itself later, but in the meantime I left a link to the company website and available jobs that we have at the moment, so feel free to apply if you want. And I guess you also noticed the change in the context. I'm now in a small meeting room with my own armchair, with my door where I can be in the quiet and can concentrate on my work or have meetings if I want to. So, first of all, I want to disappoint you that most of the employers in Germany won't let you work for them while being in a different country, mostly for tax and legal reasons. But I feel like it's slowly changing as more and more companies adopt their policies to support remote work, because I guess it was too fast for them to be able to adapt to such a sudden surge in the number of people wanting to work remotely. Like, they also need to adjust a lot of stuff, so I get it. On the other hand, there are actually German companies that work 100% remotely, or at least allow you to do so. Now keep in mind, I'm not saying that it's impossible. This rule usually only applies to you if you are a resident in Germany and want to work outside of Germany. But if you have always been in a different country than Germany, and the company hires you as a freelancer or a remote worker, and you're happy to do your taxes on your own, then of course, why not? Take me for example. For now, I'm only allowed to work from here in Germany, but Germany itself has a lot of beautiful destinations you can relocate to and work from. In case if you didn't know, there are a lot of islands in the north of the country which attract a lot of tourists, especially in summer, from all of the parts of Europe. Of course, in winter it can get cold, cloudy and grey as it is now, but this topic is for a different time. And to be honest, I love cold weather. What I want to say is that if you think that remote work always means you're at a beach or next to a pool sipping pina colada and working, then that's not always true. In fact, I personally wouldn't want to work on a beach or at a pool, because programming is such a thing where you need to really concentrate on your programming. And for example, if I'm debugging something, which is pretty much 80% of my time, then I would be very tempted to jump into the pool and leave my laptop on the side. So it's not for everyone. You really need to have a discipline to stay productive. In a way, working from home in Germany can be as cool as this and as ordinary as this. In a smaller room in my shared apartment in front of the window while looking at the grey sky, but at least I have a supermarket here 50 meters away from my place. And just like that, I teleported to my $1 million studio. I guess one of the biggest advantages of working remotely is that I can be very flexible with my workload. For example, I can start my day earlier, like a couple hours earlier, and given that I don't have any important meetings by the end of the day, I can also finish my day earlier. Or I can switch to a different location during the lunchtime, for example to Starbucks or some other cafe, and work the rest of the time from there. As long as I'm in a city and have a good transportation system at my disposal, which I do, Berlin is pretty good for that. I can get my job done whenever I want. Not only that, but saving time on commuting in general is just amazing. I used to cycle to the office every single day for 45 minutes, which is 8 kilometers, which is just a lot. And it was only one way. Well, you could argue that it's actually very healthy to have such a workout every single day, but I actually also don't mind laying in my bed for 45 more minutes. Now, before we get into the downsides of working remotely, I'm really curious about what you think. Do you work remotely as well? And if so, do you enjoy it? And of course, where are you located? Like country-wise, maybe you have a different situation. Okay, so one of the biggest downsides is obviously communication. It's just not the same. It's not. Misunderstanding and miscommunication happen so much more often compared to in-person work. That's why it's generally advised to over-communicate when you are working remotely, just to reduce the risk of something going wrong. Literally just repeating whatever another person said over and over again, just to make sure that you are both on the same page. And it especially sucks when you have such great colleagues like I do. It just sucks being far from each other. You know, when you are in the office together, you can easily collaborate, have fun talks, have a couple drinks on Friday afternoon. I believe this really improves the overall productivity by bringing the teams together. When working remotely, you often have a feeling that you are just working with strangers, and it's much harder to connect on a deeper level. Okay, now let's answer the question whether switching to home office work actually affected my salary. No, it hasn't. And it's not just for me. Companies don't really distinguish between remote workers and on-site workers, which is fair. Actually, let's pull up the statistics for the quote of home office workers. Almost 28% of all the employees for the summer of 2021 work from home, and it's literally 1/3 of the whole population of Germany. So many people definitely wouldn't want to be paid less just to be able to work from home. I'm not sure how it is in your country. It would actually be cool if you share it. Now, what about finding remote jobs? I can definitely say that I'm seeing more and more jobs with the word remote in the title, at least on LinkedIn, which was kind of expected, wasn't it? Most of the companies will be open to negotiate remote working, even if they haven't included it in the job description first. So yeah, there are definitely more remote jobs now. But how do you find them? Well, some would recommend specialized websites for remote jobs like flexjobs.com or remote.com. And I have nothing against them, but I still think LinkedIn is the best place for this, just because LinkedIn has a bigger database of jobs. And on top of that, now you have this special remote filter, so it will be even easier to sort jobs that offer it. Before we jump into the conclusion of the video, I would like to give a quick shout out to Brilliant. I've been a huge fan of Brilliant for a while and was very happy when they reached out to me. Brilliant.org is an interactive platform where you can learn anything related to STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. The keyword here is interactive. The courses you take are full of visual explanations, which will help you learn 6 times faster than with ordinary video content. I've already taken courses such as quantum computing, reinforcement learning, astrophysics, and it was Check out the link in the description to get started for free, and if you like it, you can get a 20% discount for your annual subscription. Remember, investing in your education always pays off in the long term. I think I covered it all, or maybe it was just a bit all over the place. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter where you work, as long as it's remote, I guess it's still gonna feel the same. Not sure if that's cool. Or maybe it is. I still have mixed feelings about it. If you made it so far, I suppose you were really interested in the topic, and I'm pretty sure you still have questions. If so, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will put them in my queue and maybe make a video about it in the future. Otherwise, I will try to answer you directly in the comments. As always, have a great rest of the day, and I will catch you in the next video. Goodbye.